guys, welcome back for another workout. Today we are doing a full body strength workout. So the only equipment you're going to need is a glute band and then 2 pairs of dumbbells. You want one lighter set and one heavier set. Our time sequence today is going to be 30, 30, 30, 30. The first 3 being movements and the last one being a rest. So we're going to flow from one movement to the other, no rest in between. And then we have that rest at the end, and we'll do that 3 times through before we move on to the next group of exercises. So we're gonna have a total of 5 groups of exercises, and that is it for today. So let's get into that warm-up right now. All right, so we are gonna start with some squats, so feet shoulder width apart. We're going in 3. So feet shoulder width apart. We're going in 3. Here we go. Sitting down nice and low, squeezing the glutes as we come up. Starting right away, waking up the glutes, making that mind to muscle connection. So you're going to feel those glutes expand as you come down and then contract as you stand. Good. And let's bring those feet wide, and we're going to sit the hips back. We're just going to alternate going from one side to the other. So you want to feel the hips pulling back as you bend the leg while trying to keep this leg lengthened. So you should feel a stretch in the hamstrings as you come from one side to the other. Let's do 2 more. Good. Alright, we'll walk our feet in slightly here. Sit down nice and deep into that lunge. You can use your elbows to drive the knees apart. And we're going to lift the bum up towards the ceiling, still keeping a slight bend in our legs here. And then bring the bum down, lift the chest. Elbows can stay pushing the knees out as we lift and lower the bum. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. Roll all the way up. We're going to come to the edge of our mat. From here, we're going to walk it out, inchworm. So we're going to walk it out, high plank, pulling belly button up to spine, turning that core on, walking to our feet, and let's walk right back out. Get those hips in line with the shoulders, and walk it back. All the way to the tips of your toes as you walk out. Shoulders are stacked right on top of wrists. And we'll do 1 more here. Let's hold it out in high plank. From here, we're going to drop our knees, tap them onto the floor, and then lift. Tap. And lift. Feel that belly button pulling up. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Let's walk our hands slightly in, making a 90-degree angle with these legs. We're going to hold here for 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Should be nice and warm here. I'm going to reset this timer. And we're going to come on to our hands and knees for this first one. You'll want to grab heavier set of dumbbells here. Alright, working for 30 seconds. We're going to stay on one side. So my elbows are going to go past my rib cage here. Squeezing the shoulders at the top. You're going to feel this in your lats. Big pull. Elbows coming back. Down. We're going to transition right onto the other side here, no rest in between. And while I'm here, think about stacking shoulders on top of wrists, and we want to keep the core engaged the entire time. We want to keep the shoulders parallel to the mat so we're not rotating out as we lift. This is coming mainly from those back muscles, those lateral muscles. We don't want anything else being activated and coming in, taking over. All right, from here, going right into it, coming into a high plank position, you're gonna lift up to extend and down. That seems like too much. Lower down to the knees. Push the hips forward so we're not sitting back. And continue to lift. You do have those lighter pair of dumbbells, so if you need to switch, feel free to do so. We got 5 seconds here. And rest. 30 seconds to rest. And we're gonna go in for our second set. Okay, get yourselves ready. Stack the shoulders up. Find your angle with the legs. Pulling that belly button up. Here we go. Focusing on one side. If you're having any wrist aggravation here, you can always roll that dumbbell out and just have your hand planted on the floor while we grip the other dumbbell with that working arm. Other side, right into it. Keeping shoulders in line with each other. Swing that elbow back past the ribs. Right into this plank here, either from your knees or feet. Feet can be wide or lifting up. So this one we do want to rotate upper bodies coming side to side, facing each wall. We want to keep the hips down. Remember, in line with shoulders, whether you're from your knees or from your feet. If you're on your knees, we're pushing the hips forward. Last 3. Rest here. Okay, we only have one more set, and we'll move on to the next group of exercises. We've got 10 seconds. Set yourself up. Here we go, last time. We're almost there. Check in, see what that core is doing. You want to be relaxed here, so pull yourself up. Here we go, other side. Last 30 seconds of work. We're opening up, coming down to that starting position. Keep breathing through this one. Keep the hips low. 10 seconds. Almost there. 3. And rest. Alright, 30 seconds to transition here. We are going to go into a deadlift and high pull for the next one. So you can hang on to those heavier weights. We are going to be doing just our normal deadlift, more of an RDL, so slight bend in the knees. We're hinging forward about mid-shin, then we're going to come up, leading with the elbow, one straight line, elbow to wrist, for that upright run. Here we go. We're coming down, hinging from the hips, coming up, keeping the dumbbells close to body. Elbows are the highest point. So what I often see here is a lot of people lifting with their wrists. So you want to make sure that everything is staying stable from wrist to elbow. And then when we're coming down, we still want to maintain the shoulders rolling back so we're not rounding through the upper body. 5. Nice and wide. Dumbbells are inside your legs like we did in our warm-up, but we're just going to stay on one side. So hips are coming back and bending in my knee. I'm getting as low as I can, but still rolling those shoulders back so I'm not rounding as I dip forward. We got 3. We're going to switch it up and go on the other side. Here we go. Right into it. And in all these movements, we're always having our core turned on. So you always want to be thinking about that. And breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth is going to help a lot as you move through these exercises. Rest here. Feet shoulder width apart. We get ourselves ready for round 2. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Slight bend in those knees to start, hinging from the hips and coming up. If you're noticing any tension in that back, bring the dumbbells from right in front of you to the sides. This should alleviate some of that tension. As well, when you start, make sure that back is not arching. Tug the tailbone down before you start, and you should feel that pressure release. As we come up, let's squeeze those shoulder blades. We still want to keep the neck relaxed when we do that. That's sending the energy towards that upper body. We're moving in to this side lunge. Going as low as you can. Being careful not to dip forward with one shoulder or the other. Try to keep them in line here. And if you can, touch those dumbbells to the floor. We got 5, 3, and right to the other side. Feet are planted, toes are slightly turned out. Hang on. 10 seconds. Last 3, 2, and 1. Rest. We got one more round. Seconds before we start this 3rd round. And 3, 2, 1. Last time through here.
Just one glass in, you're already on my mind. When it gets late, I always realize that I need you. Are you thinking about me tonight?
Open those legs nice and wide, toes turned out. Hinge from the hips. Keep those shoulders back. This is another position where people might feel that in your lower back. So before you start, tuck that tailbone, engage the core, and then move from there. Last 3, 2, 1. Other side. Seconds. Last 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds to rest. We're going to grab our lighter weights here, and we're going to focus on the upper body completely for this next 3 movements. So our first movement, we are starting standing, making sure we have our neutral alignment. We are going to lift with neutral hands. So we are going to have our palms facing each other, lifting up to shoulder height. From here, bending at the elbow, and then extending and coming down. All right, so feet are shoulder width apart. We're lifting up, bending at the elbow, bending those biceps in, lengthen, holding at the shoulder, and relax down. My shoulders are rolled back. Here we go. Belly button is pulling in. We are going into lateral raises here, slight bend in those knees, and we're lifting up. So this one, you want your hands to be slightly forward from your elbows, so you don't want to be moving straight up. We're having that slight bend, soft elbow, lifting to shoulder height. Squeeze the shoulders as you lift. Last 5. I want you to hinge forward here. Bring the elbows close to body. We're going to extend, squeeze the tricep, and then come back in. So elbows are tucked right in, close to body. And notice how my whole arm isn't moving here. My elbows are tucked. I'm extending, lengthening my arms, squeezing those triceps, and then coming right back in. So there's not a lot of movement. This is more of a hinge from the elbow. Last 5. And rest. First round done. We're going to do that all again. Good luck with that. I threw my phone into the pool. There's no reason for 10 seconds. Get into that neutral alignment. Bring the tailbone down. Here we go, lifting up to shoulder height, bending, lengthening with control, and then come down. So we're separating every movement here. In, extend, down. Into those lateral raises. Same positioning with the rest of my body, but not lifting my arms up to the sides. It's over. It's over. Let's not waste our time. Remember, 10 seconds. Tricep kickbacks. This is another position. So a lot of times in that hinge position is where that lower back tension comes in. So notice when we move through different exercises, if you're feeling that, what correction can we make? Bring that tailbone down so we don't feel that arch in the back and any strain there. We got 3. And rest. One more round. We're flying through this workout. Get ready for our last time through, 10 seconds. Starting in 3, Here we go. Raises. Squeezing belly button to spine. Relaxing through neck and shoulders. 10 seconds. 3. Good. Tricep kickbacks to finish. Hinging here, tucking the tailbone, lengthen, and bring it in. We're almost there. Last few reps. 3. Rest. Okay, this next one here, we're going to need our band, so we're going to put this on just above our knees. We won't need any weights. We're just going to be working with this band here. Our first one, we're keeping it simple. To start, banded glute bridges. So we're going to have our heels close to our bum, lifting up, squeezing the glutes, not pushing too far past. So we want to be stacked up here. We're coming down, we're not resting at the bottom, and then squeezing to come up. So just a light tap, and then come up. And then check in and see where your feet are. You want your feet in line with your knees, in line with your hips, so we can target more of the glutes. Sometimes the knees get away from us, but we want to keep them all parallel here. We're going to be adding on, so lift, open up your knees, resisting against the band, and then continue down the same way as we have been doing. Down, squeeze, drive the knees apart, and all the way in. So you should now feel the glutes activating as we resist against the band. From here, we're gonna lift up, stay up. We're gonna walk the heels out as far as you can, keeping hips lifted, and then walk yourself back in. So you don't have to go out very far, but stay on your heels, go as far as you can with control, keeping the hips up, and then walk yourself back in. Good, rest here. So as you lie here, you can check in with your body. You want to tuck the tailbone and deepen the core here. So this is going to set us up for a nice neutral alignment. Feet are shoulder width apart. And we're lifting up and squeezing. Now check in and see if you're feeling it more in your hamstrings or more in your quads. We want to be feeling it in our glutes. So if you're feeling it in your hamstrings, you want to walk your feet in closer to your bum. If you're feeling it more in your quads, you're going to walk those heels slightly out. This slight adjustment of your feet closer or further away from your bum is going to make a big difference in the muscles you're targeting. And we're driving the knees out, coming down, up. Just a light tap as we come down, not resting at the bottom.
My friends say, get out of your comfort zone, it's a blessing in disguise. Get out of what you call home, your name is written in the sky. It might feel just like you're on your own, but baby, it's another life.
Alright, our hard one here, we're lifting up. We're walking out on the heels. Pressing hands into the floor. We're stabilizing ourselves with our upper body on the floor. But we still want to keep the tension out of our neck and shoulders. So we're not pressing too hard. This is more focused on the lower body. And rest. Great work. Alright, we got one more round before we get into our last group of exercises.
The doctor says take some pills, but this is not how it's supposed to feel. Upside down and in and out, I guess I have to take a break. Get out of your comfort zone, it's a blessing in disguise. Get out of what you call home.
Last time here, lifting up, big squeeze, and down.
Like you're on your own, but baby, it's another lie. Remember you were made to fly. Work, but it doesn't work. I try to say something, but there's the word. I try to justify my actions. Less reaction.
Breathe in as you come down, exhale as you come up.
Oh, it doesn't work. I try to
We're separating those knees, coming down, up, drive the knees apart. Okay, finishing here, 30 seconds. Walk it out. Lift those hips, still squeezing the glutes or getting those hamstrings, lengthening the hamstrings and contracting.
just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter.
And rest. Alright, we can take that band off. We're moving on to our last little circuit here. We're going to be focusing on our core. And our first one, we're going to keep our feet on the floor, knees bent. We're just going to relax back, and we are just going to lift up head and shoulders, bring chest closer to my knees, and then relax all the way down. Well, we got our crunches to start. As I lift up, we're going to deep in the core. Feel your belly button pressing down into your spine, so the back is on the mat here, so you should feel that pressing in as you lift up. Want to be careful not to be straining our neck as we're doing this, so think more lifting with your chest. Bring the chest closer to the knees. We're going to lift our feet up here. Tabletop, feet are flexed. Continue with those crunches. Oh yeah, feeling that one. Relax. Big squeeze, embrace those shakes. Feel your lower back pressing into the mat. Plant those feet. We're going to lift up. Opposite elbow to knee. Moving in that direction. You don't need to make contact with the knee, but we're working the obliques, our side body here. Relax. Lift again. Thinking about bringing chest to knee rather than straining the neck or reaching with just the arms. And rest. We got 30 seconds here. We're going to do that again. Hands behind our head. When you start, you want your elbows in your peripheral vision. Deepening the core. Here we go, lifting up. Lifting those legs up. So notice if our knees are in more, it's a little bit easier. So we want to be at that 90-degree angle. And if you want even more of a challenge, you can extend slightly out. Bring the feet away from the body. You're going to create more tension on those lower abdominals. So you pick your challenge here. Let's breathe in. Exhale as we lift. Feet are down, we're moving into obliques. Alternating here. Drawing the chest up. Really lifting the head and shoulders. Twisting as you reach. Rest. We got one more time through, and then we are done. We'll do some nice stretches at the end. Last time. A minute and a half of work, and then we are done. Legs continue down and up. Feet down, side to side. We're almost there. Rest. Great work. We're going to get into some stretches here. And we'll start stretching out the abdominals so we can come onto our tummy. We're going to keep the hands close to our body, and then we're going to push the floor away. And lift the chin and chest up. And take deep breaths here. Trying to relax into it. If this is feeling like too much, you can come down onto your elbows. Continue to lift the chin and chest. Or you can stay here. From here, we are going to tuck the toes, send the hips back. You want our knees a little bit wider than our hips. Stretch those fingertips forward. And try to relax the chest down as you stay in this shell stretch. And coming up, we are going to reach our one arm up, twisting in the core. And then we are going to come down, thread the needle, When you're here, you can progress this movement, lifting the arm up. And then the hand that's on the floor, we want to be pressing that hand, those fingertips into the floor, feeling the resistance. And you're going to feel that stretch right behind your shoulder blades. Last few deep breaths here. And let's come up. We're opening up through the chest. And then coming down. Optional lift that hand. Last few breaths. Good. Alright, we will tuck the toes. And we are going to come all the way up to standing, so walk hands to feet. From here, you can roll yourself all the way up. We're going to grab our fingertips, interlock the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades, slight bend in those knees. We're going to hinge forward from the hips. And your tummy can just rest gently on the tops of those thighs, so you don't have to be straight here. And just relax your head and neck. Still continue to squeeze the shoulder blades, pushing the hands forward, letting gravity do its thing. And we can relax the arms, just bring them to the floor. And we can just move side to side, lengthening one leg, bending the other. With a stretch for our arms. So we're going to target those triceps. So we're going to lift our hand up, bending from the elbow, gently pressing down on that elbow. And just stay here. Opening up through those hands. And then other side. Gently press down. Relax. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.